Hi friends, you might have heard of a new book called Ryoko's Guide to the Yokai Realms. It's a Dnd5e module created by the creator of the YouTube channel dndshorts, which is actually kind of a personal hero of mine. Kind of why I started doing videos on YouTube in the first place, really. He's got an art and development team behind his back that can only be described as legendary. These people have worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender, just huge projects. I've been following as a backer for their extremely popular Kickstarter for a while now, and we are kind of on the last journey. So close to the fact that I was able to get a hold of a beta test of the full book, and I got permission from the big hero himself to do a review, so I'm super stoked. Honestly, I could sum it up in just one sentence, and that's DM or player, you need to buy this book. Ryoko's guide adds so much to any campaign that I can't even imagine how many tireless nights they spend on it. It's just beautiful, and I'm using that word to describe not only the many gorgeous pieces of artwork depicting the world of elemental bending warriors and lumbering colossal spirits. It's also a treasure trove of new mechanics for Monster Hunter-esque armor, weapon crafting, exciting new races inspired by Japanese folklore and mythology, new weapons and weapon abilities that I've personally been hungry for since I've ever played D&D, and some of the most exciting subclasses that I've seen in a very long time. There's so much about this book, I don't even know where to start. Honestly, probably the first thing I'm going to talk about is something I'm going to be using in all my next coming campaigns, and that's going to be the combo attack rules and the new weapon rules. Combo attacks are a new way for your player to combine your talents with your teammates to deliver really fun and powerful attacks that enriches roleplay of the game as much as it actually damages the opponent. So how it works is you use your action to call out to your teammates, who then use their reactions to strike at the same time, using special tags that lay out how you contribute. For example, if me and my friend have a special, let's just say we call it something like the alley-oop, where I use my action to throw my partner at the target when I can't reach them. Maybe they're in the air. While at the same time, they attack with their sword, or they'll use a burning hand spell and spin like a cartwheel, or literally whatever. So I would pick a tag that involves throwing someone or something, and then they would use a tag that involves an evocation spell, and then that will contribute damage, chance to hit, and lower the critical hit threshold. It's pretty cool. It has enough drawbacks to be balanced, as well as focuses on player interaction that I'm always a huge fan of. The new weapons added are a weeb-like mind stream. Let's just be real. Not only do I feel personally seen now that I'm able to use the nunchucks, but it fills a huge heaping hole of the fact that there really isn't many monk weapons in base 5e. Instead of using a staff or pretending that the darts they give you are shurikens, now there's a huge list. Now there's a huge list of not only new weapon options, but rules and additions that can be used with other weapons. I think the best example is the Kusarigama. Now this is one of my favorite weapons in media. In history, it's similar to the rope dart, as they were created at a time where having weapons to feudal Japan was illegal, so weapons were then created out of household weapons like shovel trowels, and the Kusarigama was a sickle that used to harvest wheat-like plants, but attached to it was a rope, and at the end of that rope was a counterweight. Now holding it in your hand, you can do a d4 damage similar to a dagger, but when you throw it, it's a d6. This weapon comes with additional abilities, like using your bonus action to also attack with a counterweight on the other hand. Not only do you get a ton of new gear like this, star blades, tonkas, battle fans, all the new weapon tags like parry and throwing versatility, but weapon-specific feats, so you could really hone down on the fact that you are, in fact, a master of that blade. The Kusarigama feat lets you force a save on your opponent. After failing this, you then get to choose between 3 different control-based effects, giving you an advantage. And I can't stress how excited I got from these. I love throwing weapons, and this book quadruples the amount of fun and options you can have with them. New player options are also my favorite thing to look forward in a new D&D mod. The more creative and different they are, the more I'm personally interested, and I know like everyone else is like that. So the races and classes they have created are a testament to how talented this team is. Inspired by mythology and folklore, they're able to create PCs out of some of the most unique racial options I've seen in a long time. Your character can be a spirit, vegetation, a shape-shifting rabbit likes to play tricks, a hulking primate with the gift of crafting, a red Oni looking for their blue Oni brother, or a dude, just like a dude who likes summoning and hanging out with his special yokai spirit familiars, who's also a wizard, who's also a ninja, who's also super good at nunchucks. Well, that's what I'm good. Speaking of yokai and familiars, They created a mechanic to personalize your spirit friends, now with far more depth find familiars that had prior. It really gives so much life in your familiars, letting you apply skills and personality and quirks, really ground your familiars into the world, rather than just like a kitty who's also a ghost or whatever. These new familiars have skill trees that level up in specific situations along with you, so it feels more like a Beastmaster effect. There's really so much you can do with it now that they created a whole new class called Tamer that originated from Helena's Guide and their Leap Tavern Patreon. The other additional class is the Bender class, finally allowing us to live out our avatar fantasy, letting us warp, twist, and control fire, water, earth, or air to defend ourselves. The Bender class has us pick our main element and pick our spell modifier for that creation, allowing us to truly create whatever type of character we want. I really like this idea, allowing us to choose what ability is our modifier. It diverses all benders, unlike say all wizards are smart, because by default every wizard needs to have a high intelligence. And speaking of wizards, the new subclasses slap. No notes, but I do have my favorites. The new Shinobi wizard is going to be my next player character without a doubt. Combining melee and monk weapons with spellcasting, you can infuse your melee attacks with your spell slots to add damage and other effects. Not to mention, a lot of the Bender attacks are also spells that do appear on other classes' spell lists. So spells like Earth and Uppercut get added to the wizard spell list, so I can live out several different fantasies at the same time. In addition to the Shinobi wizard, there's also the Tamiya rogue, which uses fire-esque bombs infused with spells and casts them by setting them off. Or the skeletal blade fighter that uses their own skeleton as a weapon, transforming their bows to jut out and impale, or just use them as swords. And of course, the new Warlock pack, the Pact of the Shirigami, for a little light roleplay. The new crafting mechanic comes with also new harvesting mechanics, allowing you more in-depth rules for crafting materials from creatures small or gargantuan. This also helps the DM so much, showing you what you can take from a monster, what is valuable or not, while providing charts to easily determine quantity, quality, the type of substance, if you get any. Besides substance, there's also essence. This can be harvested and used to enchant items, magic, abilities, or personality, maybe even sentience. There's also a heavy amount of information on prosthesis, mechanical replacements for limbs like legs or arms. Mechanical or technical, you're able to build an extension of your body that can shoot a grappling hook or bullets, or it can be your spellcasting modifiers. You can launch magic missiles out of your Phoebe tips. There's also add-ons that propel you through water, like gliders, fin-like attachments that grab the wind so you can traverse the skies with your elbows. It's also a magnificent way to further customize your character and ground them into a world of magic and technology. The meat of Ryoko's guide has to be their new mechanics on battling and creating kaiju. For those uninformed, a kaiju is a large monster that towers over the landscape. Think Godzilla. And defeating them is going to take a lot more cunning than strength. They're simply too massive to be contained to a simple HP bar. Attacking or interacting with their weak points, which may be their eyes, their bleeds, their heart, lowers their vitality threshold. Dropping this sends their behavior into different stages, further changing the fight to chaos and forcing your players to change their tactics. After they drop the creature, they can then harvest its remains and create even stronger equipment to help with them with their next fighting fight. Things I would change. Well, this is usually where I would list things that I suggest changing, but as the book isn't finalized, I don't think that's very helpful to list them out in a video. Instead, I submitted all my critiques to the team as part of the beta test. There's going to be a link in the description for you to check out this book. It's almost out, and I'm so ready to play it. It's an absolute buy if you're inspired by this type of lore and media. Hell, the additional weapon options alone is enough for me to want it. But the new way they use second attack and the massive new spell list just makes it so much more of a new staple for my next D&D games to come. If you like this video, I would love to get a sub and like from you. If you didn't like this video, then hey, maybe next time. Huge thanks to the Ryoko Team for this amazingly crafted book, and a major thank you to Will for answering my emails to give me permission to do this. I'm such a small YouTuber compared to he is, and it really meant a lot to me that he gave me the light of day to even respond more than once. Let me know in the comments what you think the next mod I review should be, and until then, bye friends.